Night in the futuristic garage, rows of glowing tools, silent machines, carbon fiber panels stacked like puzzle pieces, and in the middle of it all, Turbo Toby. The small orange-brown mechanic dog stands on a rolling stool, blue jumpsuit slightly smudged with grease, a wrench spinning in his paw. Then the garage lights flicker. A holographic blueprint appears in the air. Not just any car. A Ferrari 488 Pista. Turbo Toby tilts his head. This isn't a repair job. This is a challenge. Build one from scratch. 4 seconds later, the blueprint expands across the garage walls. Every bolt, every pipe, every impossible detail. Turbo Toby grins. Time to build. The Ferrari 488 Pista isn't just another supercar. It's what happens when engineers stop asking what's practical and start asking what's possible. Ferrari built the real car as a track weapon. Less weight, more power, sharper aerodynamics. Everything focused on speed, but building one from loose parts. That's a different game. Turbo Toby looks around the garage, scrap metal, carbon fiber sheets. Turbo housings, suspension arms, enough parts to build something dangerous or something brilliant. He taps the blueprint again. The first piece lights up, the chassis. Turbo Toby rolls out a carbon fiber panel almost as big as the workbench. Light, rigid, and expensive enough to make most mechanics nervous. Turbo Toby isn't most mechanics. He lowers the panel into a precision frame jig. Laser guides flicker. Alignment matters here, a millimeter off. And the car will never drive straight. Turbo Toby tightens clamps with careful turns of his wrench. Carbon fiber cross members slide into place. Bonding resin seals the structure. The skeleton of the Ferrari begins to take shape. Not bulky, not heavy, just a tight, aggressive structure built around speed. Turbo Toby taps the frame, solid but empty. A car without a heart is just expensive furniture. Time for the engine. Turbo Toby wheels over a crate marked twin-turbo V8. Inside sits the engine block, compact, dense, and very, very complicated. The Ferrari 488 Pista runs a 3.9-liter twin-turbo V8 designed to produce terrifying power. Turbo Toby studies the diagram: 2 turbochargers, intercoolers, precision fuel injection, heat management. Systems, every piece depends on the next. He lifts the engine block into the chassis with a robotic hoist. For a moment it hangs in the air, then settles perfectly into the mounts. Turbo Toby tightens the bolts, one by one, until the engine becomes part of the skeleton. But engines don't run on optimism. They run on air, fuel, and very controlled explosions. Turbo Toby opens another crate. Inside sit 2 turbochargers, small turbines, but capable of pushing massive air pressure into the engine. Turbo Toby mounts the first turbo on the exhaust side, then the second. Steel pipes snake around the engine bay like metallic vines. Exhaust gases spin the turbines. The turbines force compressed air into the cylinders. More air means more fuel. More fuel means more power, at least in theory. Turbo Toby pauses. One pipe doesn't line up. He taps it, adjusts it. Still wrong. He scratches his ear, then flips the pipe around. Perfect fit. Sometimes engineering brilliance looks suspiciously like trial and error. Turbo Toby tightens the final clamp. The twin-turbo system is ready. Speed is easy. Control is not. Turbo Toby drags out a tray of suspension components. Racing shocks, lightweight control arms, titanium bolts. Ferrari designed the 488 Pista suspension to survive racetracks, which means it has almost no tolerance for mistakes. Turbo Toby installs the front control arms, clicks the shocks into place, then connects the anti-roll bars. Every component must move smoothly, but without flex. He spins the wheel hub, perfect rotation. Then the rear suspension. This one fights back. One bolt refuses to thread properly. Turbo Toby squints. The bracket is upside down. He flips it. Problem solved. Engineering lesson number 1. Even the best designs assume someone installs the parts correctly. Turbo Toby rolls over a set of enormous brake rotors. Carbon ceramic, extremely strong, extremely expensive. These brakes are built to stop a car traveling faster than most airplanes during takeoff. Turbo Toby mounts the rotors. Then the massive brake calipers, 6 pistons in front, 4 in the rear. Each piston pushes brake pads against the rotor with incredible force. He presses the pedal. Hydraulic pressure moves through the lines. The calipers clamp down. The wheel stops instantly. Turbo Toby nods. Good. Going fast is impressive. Stopping is survival. Turbo Toby climbs onto the chassis and unfolds the body panels. Carbon fiber everywhere. The Ferrari 488 Pista body isn't just decoration. It's a giant air management system. Air enters the front vents, flows across the hood, channels through side intakes, feeds the engine and cools the brakes. Turbo Toby installs the front splitter, then the sculpted hood, then the massive rear diffuser. Each piece guides airflow around the car. Less drag, more downforce, more grip at high speed. He bolts on the rear wing. The car suddenly looks alive, like it's leaning forward even while standing still. Turbo Toby opens the final crate. Wires, hundreds of them. Modern supercars are rolling computers. Sensors watch everything: engine temperature, air pressure, wheel speed, turbo boost. Turbo Toby threads the wiring harness. Through the chassis, clips connect one by one, dashboard screens flicker to life. Then the engine control unit powers on. For a moment, nothing happens. Turbo Toby taps the console. Still nothing. He checks the wiring, then finds the problem. One tiny connector unplugged. He snaps it in place. The system boots instantly. Technology is powerful, but it still depends on very small plugs. Turbo Toby steps back and studies the nearly finished car. Ferrari advertising makes the 488 Pista look effortless. Just press the pedal. Experience speed, but the reality. Thousands of parts, hundreds of engineering decisions, heat, pressure. Tolerance limits measured in fractions of millimeters. Turbo Toby tightens the final bolt. The truth about machines is simple. They only work when everything works. Miss one detail, and the whole system collapses. Turbo Toby climbs into the driver's seat. The cabin smells like new carbon fiber. He presses the ignition button. The engine turns once, twice. Then the twin-turbo V8 roars to life. The garage fills with deep mechanical thunder. Turbo Toby's ears flatten slightly. Loud, very loud. The turbos whistle softly as the engine revs. Every system checks out. Oil pressure stable. Cooling system active. Turbo boost rising. Turbo Toby blips the throttle. The Ferrari responds instantly. A machine built for speed. Turbo Toby shuts off the engine. Silence returns to the garage, but the Ferrari sits there now, complete, ready. Machines like this represent something bigger than speed. They represent the limits of engineering. How light can a car be? How powerful can an engine become? How precisely can machines work together? The Ferrari 488 Pista is one answer to those questions. Not the only answer, just one attempt. Turbo Toby wipes his paws on a rag, then looks at the holographic blueprint wall again. The system flickers. A new outline begins forming. Different shape, different engine, possibly even faster. Turbo Toby tilts his head. The Ferrari was difficult, but the next machine might be impossible, and that raises a new question. What should Turbo Toby build next? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more amazing builds.